All right, it's me. I'm here. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and cheers to you. Mm. The drinker is here. Um, yeah, I'm doing this stream tonight because I'm going to be away later on this week for the rest of the week, so I'm not going to be able to do my open bar stream, which is tragic, but I'll catch up with that next week. But yeah, I thought it would be good fun to just do like a Q&A stream that I haven't done in fucking ages. So I'll do my best to answer as many questions as possible, like while I'm here. And if super chats come in, hopefully I'll be able to keep abreast of them. Breasts. Yeah. So how the fuck is everyone doing tonight? Yeah, it's been an interesting fucking week in the world of entertainment. We've got the Jurassic World 3 trailer, which looks like absolute garbage. And we've had Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. That looks special indeed. I can talk a little bit about that if you want. Yeah, here's a super chat actually that came in from Connor Reed. Hey, what's up, drinker? So I'm an aspiring screenwriter and have written my own original superhero TV shows. 7, in fact. God damn, that's a lot. Do you think fans of my Marvel and DC would be interested in completely original characters? Yeah, I think a lot of people are at this point, particularly. You know, there's a lot of like Marvel fatigue kicking in for people. Yeah, so if you're able to come up with new, interesting characters that they haven't seen before, that don't have like, you know, decades of shit associated with them, yeah, I think there's definitely a market for that. How am I doing? Yeah, thank you, Judge Dredd. Yeah, I'm doing all right, thanks, man. Keeping busy. I'm just working on my review for the Jurassic World Dominion trailer, so that video should be out in the next day or two. Like I say, I'm going to be away for a couple of days. I'm going on a bit of a holiday, which is going to be nice. Like even people like me get holidays occasionally, so that should be good. Yeah, sorry, not the open bar. Yeah, the open bar is off this week, sadly, but it'll be on next week. So we'll try and make up for it with some really good guests. What's next here? Yeah, from Joshua Vest. Okay, buddy, good to see you. Thanks, man. Good to see you as well. Oh, here's a good question, actually. Why did you criticize Blade Runner 2049 so harshly? I prefer the original, but I still thought it was great. Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't. I don't think I was like super harsh on 2049. Like my take on it was, I thought it was a well directed movie, very visually striking, which is kind of what you'd expect from a Denis Villeneuve film. A little bit slow at times. Didn't mind that too much. Didn't feel like it added too much to the Blade Runner mythos. You know, the whole gist of it was now that replicants are capable of reproducing, which is fine. I guess it's a natural progression for the story, but it just didn't really strike me as interesting as, you know, are replicants actually self-aware and they're living creatures that just want to survive. That was the crux of the original movie. And I thought that was a much more interesting idea to explore. This just felt like a kind of awkwardly tacked on, you know, side note. And yeah, it just it kind of missed, or it lost the magic of the original movie for me, I guess. Yeah, and it just felt like it ended quite abruptly as well. Like there wasn't a lot of resolutions to a lot of things that were set up in it. It kind of felt like they were angling for a sequel, if I'm honest. The Outcast Creative saying, you're missing Wrath of Khan. Yeah, I'm gutted by this. This guy had invited me down to London because they're going to be showing a special screening of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. I think it's the extended cut as well, which would have been great. It's just I wasn't able to make it, sadly. But yeah, sorry, man. It's LK. I'm still undecided, actually. You know, there was subtle hints dropped throughout the game, but I never quite knew for sure. I don't think we'll ever know, you know. Oh, here's a good one. How long will it take for Star Wars to become as big a joke as Star Trek? I mean, they're well on track for it, to be honest. The movies have pretty much bulldozed Star Wars into the ground. Yeah, and then, you know, you've got Book of Boba Fett, and I made my thoughts clear on that one. Get ready for a tidal wave of shit, by the way, over the next year or two, because they are not going to let up with these shows. just get more content out there. It's the Mike Zero approach to making stuff. Just it doesn't matter if it's garbage or it makes no sense. Just fucking shove it out there. Just get as much as you can out. That's pretty much their approach now. And well, good luck to them. But it doesn't really do Star Wars any favors as a brand. What's this? Deadlift personal record. I've never tested my deadlift ability. It's harder when you're tall. Like you've kind of got to lift it that much further, and I'm like 6'2", so I'm probably pretty shit in comparison to like shorter guys who've just got like a stockier physique. My personal best for bench pressing was 105 kilos, which I think works out at about 230 pounds. No, wait, it's 2.2 pounds to a kilo. So yeah, that's more like 240, 250. That was the most I ever bench pressed. And that was like a 1 rep max. So yeah, I'm definitely not like a power lifter in that regard, but you know, that's what I managed to do. Boobs. It's always a place for boobs in the drinkers world. I'm just looking at some of these super chats that came in as well. I'm trying to get through as many as I can. Matthew Spates said, "Hey, drinker, I realized how dead Star Wars is to me after watching that season finale debacle. I've watched them character assassinate Luke Skywalker multiple times. I wanted to know your take on why they are so focused on destroying him." I've spoken about this before. Is there any way I can bring this up? No. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to bring that up on the screen, but it won't let me because I've had to skip back through the super chats. Yeah, why they were so intent on destroying Luke Skywalker. I think it's because he's a character that's iconic. He's a character that so many people identify with and so many people love. And as long as that character remains, you're never going to get people to embrace garbage characters like Rey, because they just love Luke so much more. And to simply kill him off as a hero would only exacerbate that. You just make him into a martyr. So I guess what they had to do was destroy him first. You know, they had to destroy the very legacy of him. And so the idea being that people will just, they won't like him anymore. I think that seems to be their thinking. It's a shit way of approaching characters, you know. God forbid that they would just create good characters of their own that could rival Luke. They're obviously not capable of doing that. So, yeah. Oh, there you go. I can bring your thing up now. So, yeah, I think that's what they're doing. It's to try and make it easier for you to accept the new batch of shitty characters that they've created. And it's the same thing that they did with Han. You know, they turned him into a deadbeat dad and just a confused old man who can't do anything properly anymore. Again, just to take away this character that was cool and awesome and just make him into something shit. The idea being that'll help you move on, I guess, from the legacy of those characters. And to some extent, they would have done it with Leia, I think, if you know, Carrie Fisher hadn't passed away and they didn't really have anything to work with. Here's one. Any examples of movie criticism you've given that had triggered YouTube warnings, etc.? No, I've never had an issue with that. Yeah, the closest I've come, I guess, would just be your standard copyright claims and stuff, but that just goes with the territory. And to be fair, YouTube's a lot better with that kind of thing now. It allows you to preview videos before you publish them, and it'll check for all this stuff to see if it's violated any copyright claims before you actually publish it. So you kind of know, which I think is a lot better. It's not foolproof, but it used to be that you kind of just had to publish it and fucking hope for the best, which was a bit nerve-wracking. Like if you'd put days and days of work into a video, or if you're someone like Jay or Muller, you've put fucking months into it, to have to just publish it and unpublish it again constantly is a pain in the arse. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. Hey, Drinker, if you had to cast Drake and Anya in a film adaptation of Redemption, who would you pick? So when I originally wrote the books, I imagined Drake looking a bit like Colin Farrell. That was kind of the physical likeness that I gave him. And with Anya, it probably would be someone like Tricia Helfer, who played like one of the Cylons in that Battlestar Galactica remake. She is tall and statuesque, and she's got a very striking look about her. I think she would have been a good choice. Again, she's probably a bit old now because obviously we're 10 years down the line from my first book coming out. So, yeah, I'm not sure who I would do now. Yeah, here we go. Is there a chance to have just some guy someday on an open bar? Yeah, sure. I'm always up for having new people on. That's why the past couple of times I've done these happy hours. I've specifically looked for people that I haven't had on before because I want to give other people a chance to come on, and bring on new guests and keep it kind of interesting. On that subject, obviously next week I'm going to be doing the open bar stream, but then the following week I'll be doing a happy hour with Voxus Productions. So Professor Tosspot's going to be on this channel, which should be great. And we're going to be talking about Fellowship of the Ring. So that seems like a good combination to me. I know people have been wanting to get him on here for a while, so I finally managed to make it happen, which is great. He's excited to come on. I'm excited to have the guy on. Should be a good conversation. And we're talking about a movie that I fucking love. So, yeah, that should be good. Let me just catch up here. The chat's going so fast, I can't keep up with it. God damn it. Here's a good question. DRD Productions. Is it possible for you to make a video of actors who played Batman and your ranking? I really liked your James Bond ranking. Yeah, I'd absolutely do that because so many fucking people have done Batman now. Yeah, I think it would be a really interesting video to do because I think, again, like with the Bonds, there's kind of a separation between like the films and the actual actors who've played the character. I've maintained for quite a long time that I really like Ben Affleck as Batman. He's been lumbered with shitty movies, but I think he was a great Batman, and I really liked his outfit. He definitely had the physical build for Bruce Wayne. I thought he was a good choice. But his movies were shit. So it's an interesting one to look from that point of view. But yeah, absolutely. What's the next one here? Yeah, Michael Keaton was fucking awesome. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting when he's in the Flashpoint movie because there's been on-set photos leaked of him in his original Batman outfit, which is just fucking awesome. That'd be great. What else have we got here? Yeah, here's one. Asmodai said, would you ever consider reviewing Last Action Hero? Yeah, I would actually. There's things I want to say about that movie for sure. It felt like a film that was a real wasted opportunity. Because I like this idea of lampooning like the tropes of Hollywood action movies. I love the fact that Arnold was in it. I think there was so much potential there. They just went too far into farce, and made it completely ridiculous. Whereas I think if it had been a bit more subtle, you could have done something really interesting with that. I like the fact that Arnold as well, like, is definitely not above mocking himself. Like his real life persona. He's just kind of portrays himself as this like shallow, self-publicizing media hound, and he's getting pushed around by his wife. And he's just always about like enhancing his own image. Like I think that's probably quite close to the mark for most of Hollywood there. So there was definitely good things they could have done with that movie. I think it was also marketed as a straight up action film rather than being like a satire on action movies. So it really hurt it at the box office. Which is a shame, yeah, because like I say, I think there was some interesting ideas there. So yeah, I'd be interested to talk about Last Action Hero. Mark Fornaris says, how do we get you in person to a con here in the States? Well, stay tuned because things might be happening there this summer. So yeah, I'm talking to some people and hopefully we can get something happening because yeah, there's seems to be like possibilities for me to come and do stuff and make appearances. So we'll see what I can do there. Hopefully people don't throw too many fucking rotten vegetables at me. What's the next one here? I'm just going to try and go through some of the super chats as they were coming in there. The Outcast Creative said, Drinker, your critique of Amazon's Lord of the Rings was the stuff of Gandalf wizardry. Cheers, man. We'll debate it with our 2 indie film directors tomorrow night. Do tune in. Yeah, give the Outcast Creative a watch. They had Mahler and I on as guests like a week or so ago, and we got to interview Jason Fleming, which is a great chat. He was a really nice guy, and it was great to speak to him. So I think they're going to do more actor appearances like that. So good stuff. So yeah, give them a follow. Horsemeat said, Drinker, you sexy Scottish beast of slurry wisdom. Well, I lived up to my name there by fucking slurring the first sentence. With your well-deserved 1 million+ subscribers, what's next on the horizon besides bashing Hollywood? I mean, I'm never going to stop doing that. But yeah, next, I've got a bunch of book stuff coming on. I've got my next novel, which is coming out in August. They just sent me the finished front cover for that. It looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. Hopefully it's going to be good. I'm also talking to some people about doing like a non-fiction book about movie making, funnily enough, and like some of my picks for best and worst films. A little bit like what I do on my channel, but like an extended sort of book version of it, and I'll be doing it in character as the Critical Drinker. So if we get a publishing deal for that, it should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to doing that. Max Bowie said, who are your top 5 all-time favorite male actors? Okay. In no particular order, it would be probably Sean Connery, Kurt Russell, Clint Eastwood, Sylvester Stallone, and go on then, I'll put Arnold Schwarzenegger in there as well. Just in terms of like either what they've done for the movie industry, the quality of the films they've made, or just the sheer fucking impact that they've had. Yeah, those would be my top 5 picks. And obviously I'm going to pick Kurt Russell because the guy's just an absolute fucking legend. Yeah, what else have we got here? What was this one? Who are your favorite actually good female actors? I mean, obviously, I'm going to have to pick Linda Hamilton because she played Sarah Connor. Sigourney Weaver for the same reason. She played Ellen Ripley. I always liked Jessica Biel as an actress. I thought it was a shame that her career didn't take off better than it did. Yeah, she was awesome in Blade Trinity. She really got in shape for that role. She could have been a legit good action hero, but I don't know, man. She just never quite found the right roles, I suppose. But yeah, definitely like them. There we go. Brie Larson for sure. What else have we got here? Kate Blanchett, yeah, from the Lord of the Rings movies. Yeah, the only actress to ever play Galadriel, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, there's something I want to say about with this new Rings of Power show, where they've now got Galadriel as this like sword-wielding, armor-clad warrior woman. You know, the Galadriel from the Lord of the Rings movies was fucking terrifying when she chose to be, but she wasn't a fighter. It was just the sheer like force of her presence that was enough to make her intimidating. I love that bit where she like unveils her power to Frodo and she absolutely scares the shit out of him. It was great stuff, but it shows you like the strength of a character. It doesn't have to be measured in the size of their fucking muscles or like how big a piece of metal they can swing into someone's face. It's about more than that. But I guess that's what we've got now. What else? Jessica Alba. Yeah. Oh, I remember her. She was hot back in the day. She really was. She was one of the things that made the Fantastic Four movies watchable. The Outcast Creative asked me, what is your favorite starship design on DS9 or Star Trek The Next Generation? Well, I never really liked the Galaxy-class starships. The Enterprise, what would it be? D. Yeah, I always thought it looked kind of fat. Like it was kind of, the saucer section was like wider than it was long. I think I always thought they should have reversed it and it would have looked so much cooler. I always liked this design of the Voyager. I thought that was a great starship design. It was sleek, it was streamlined, it was elegant. It was just a cool design in an otherwise mediocre TV show. I thought that was great. I also like the Reliant from the Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. I thought that was such a cool ship design. It's really like fast and aggressive looking. I just thought that was awesome. What's this one? There was one about Bioshock there, yeah. Thoughts on the Bioshock movie announcement, and have you played Bioshock? Yes, so I've played Bioshock 1 and Bioshock Infinite and completed them and loved both of them. Sorry, Mauler. I think they're both really good. What are my thoughts on the movie? If it's getting made by Netflix, I am not hopeful. But man, in the hands of the right director and writers, you could do something incredible with that, because Bioshock has got such a good story. It deals with such interesting ideas. Like, man, there's so much you could do with it. I just don't think Netflix are going to do it justice. Paul Tucker said, "Hail Drinker, we'd love to know your thoughts on the 2009 Misfits TV series. Love your books." Cheers, man. With Misfits, I never watched it that much, if I'm honest, so I don't really have much I can say about it. Yeah, it kind of just passed me by, I'm afraid. George says, "Hey Drinker, greetings from Newfoundland. Trying to grow my channel and reach. Any good advice you would pass on? Thanks. Foxtrot Juliet Tango Hard." In terms of growing your channel, man, it is a tough one, because it's not like there's just some magic recipe for success that I can just hand out to people and suddenly you'll have 1 million subscribers. There's a fair bit of luck involved in all of this, and I'm under no illusions that I was incredibly fucking lucky to get this channel and have it be as successful as it is. But yeah, like, just in terms of just getting that initial attention and just getting a little bit of momentum going, pick some stuff that's relevant at the moment, that's popular. Like, for example, right now, if you make a video about the Rings of Power and give your thoughts on that, it's probably going to get a bit of traction. Obviously you want to just provide a bit of insight, provide a new perspective, something that's interesting. If you can try and be funny and engaging at the same time. It all sounds very simple when I'm saying it here, but yeah, those are the things that you want to try and bring to it. Try and make it brief as well. Like, people have this tendency to do like video essays on everything and make it like, 40-minute long videos. Not many people are going to stick around for something like that if they don't know who you are. So try and make it brief. Just look at it from the point of view that, like, every time someone watches your video, they're giving you their attention, and you don't want to squander that. So you want to make it as concise as you can. So that would be my advice, like, in the first instance. Farewell Thunderchild says, "Worried you never get it. It was an indie holy grail." What? What? I don't know what that means. Mark Allen says, "Hi Drinker, I love your movie reviews. You're the best film critic working today." Oh, thank you. I'm going to blush now. As a book lover, I was wondering if you would consider adding book reviews to your YouTube content. I've been asked this before. Sorry, while I wet my whistle there. With book reviews, it's an interesting thing to do. It's just that not that many people are interested in watching it. With movies, TV shows and stuff, it's much more in the sort of popular consciousness. And your videos get so much more traction. The other problem you've got is when you're reviewing a book, there's no footage that you can use. There's nothing you can splice in. And so, you'd have to just, I don't know, you just have to play random like trailer footage of something else, or just gameplay footage. That seems to be the go-to option for people that just want to create lazy content. It's like, here's some footage of me playing a totally unrelated video game, just to fill in the time. So yeah, it's a tricky one. It's just, yeah, in a lot of ways, it's kind of not worth your time to do book reviews, unfortunately. Here's a question. What do you think about Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey Whiskey? It's a little bit too sweet for my taste, if I'm honest. Because quite often, especially if I'm doing a stream, I'll have a bourbon and I'll mix it with Coke so that I get drunk, but I also can stay awake from all the sugar. But you can't really mix Tennessee Honey with that. It's way too fucking sweet. Drinker, will you read all of these questions after? I mean, I'll read all the super chats. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get through like 10,000 comments on that video, sadly. I'll tell you one thing. Going back to this question, though, one thing I do like is Applejack Whiskey. It's just like a Jack Daniel's apple flavored liqueur, and it's really fucking nice. Just have it neat, great. What's the next one? Yeah, well, I do a review of Uncharted. I will actually. I went and saw it at the cinema on Friday night, and yeah, that was a movie. Yeah, it's dumb as fuck. I'm not going to lie. If you like to see pirate ships getting lifted into the air by helicopters, this is the movie for you, because that's the kind of level it's at. I also really don't understand fucking Mark Wahlberg as Sully. Yeah, a guy who's, he's 50, okay, but he looks about 40 and he's got the build of like a 30-year-old bodybuilder. Like, Marky Mark is still absolutely jacked. So it just does not make sense for him playing like Sully, who's meant to be this like late middle-aged man who's kind of slowing down and he's just a con man kind of thing. That's what he gets by on. That was weird. Not really buying into Tom Holland either as Nathan Drake. They needed someone older for sure. I don't know if they're just doing it on the idea that, hey, we'll get a really young guy because we can carry the franchise for the next 10 years by doing that. Nah, man, that's not how it's going to work. Thoughts on Daredevil? So I assume you mean the Netflix original one. Yeah, I fucking loved that show. It was brilliant. The Charlie Cox was a great Matt Murdock. I loved Wilson Fisk. Vincent D'Onofrio was just brilliant in that role. What a great antagonist. Yeah, can't say enough good things about it. That blows pretty much anything Marvel has done out of the water. And I definitely intend to do a review on it properly. Yeah, I think they did. Probably got Holland for name recognition. I think just because he's the hot thing in Hollywood right now. Spider-Man No Way Home was just an absolute, an absolute triumph in box office terms. And so, yeah, that's raised his star considerably. But it's funny because he's a little short arse, and there's a great picture of him and Zendaya walking along, and she's like pulling him. It's like she looks like his fucking mum taking him for a day out. Jesus, that's the shit thing, I guess. Like, you can, if you're fat, you can lose weight or whatever. But there's really nothing you can do about being short for a guy. What's my thoughts on Hawkeye? Not watched it. I probably won't ever watch it. I just got no fucking interest in it at this point. What's the next one? Unhinged says, a surprise drinker stream. Multiple climaxes have commenced. Well, naturally, it's the thing to do when I'm streaming. Yeah, like I say, it's just I had an opportunity to do this tonight, and it's been ages since I've just done like a Q&A, so there we go. Lord Vulcan says, Hail Drinker, how much will it cost me for a dedicated video dragging Aliens versus Predator? Man, you don't have to pay me for that. I'll happily do that by myself. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just got to find the time to do it, I suppose. Dragoven08 says, Hey Drinker, I was wondering what your opinion of the movie District 9 was. I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic movie. Neil Blomkamp needs to be directing everything right now. It's one of my favorite films, and I would love you to do a happy hour. I'd love to do a happy hour on it with you. Well, thank you very much, man. Like I say, I've got kind of a long list of people who want to do happy hours and stuff, so I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I would definitely like to do a review on District 9. Lord Vulcan also says, also thanks for calling out Mike Zero. So many times I'm like, land the fucking plane for fuck's sake. His content is just fucking garbage. I mean, I can't blame him for capitalizing on it. I guess if people are going to keep watching it, he's going to make money from it. But god damn, what a way to make a living. Every single video is just the same boilerplate bullshit with about 30 seconds of original content spliced into it, and it's all just useless, false, or out of date information. Yeah, what a hell of a way to make a fucking channel. Oh, there's a question. Where was I on 9/11? I was in my house. Yeah, I just got back from. I was out with my friends that afternoon because it was early afternoon in the UK when we heard about this. Um, got back and I just happened to put the TV on, and there was the news on every channel showing 9/11. Both towers had been hit by that point; they were burning. Yeah, and I just couldn't believe it. I thought it was a movie. I thought it was um, some kind of footage from like an old event or something like that, because it was so grainy. Like when they converted American footage over to the UK, it was all messed up and it just didn't look like a real news broadcast. So yeah, that was where I was. That's how I found out about it. It was an absolutely surreal fucking day. Couldn't believe it. What's the next one here? Chucksenhausen said, Drinker, I can't wait for your review on Reacher, and hopefully you'll add in a quick clip of Thad from Blue Mountain State, same actor, screaming like a girl, like Hawk. That would be Hash Brown legendary. Yeah, with Reacher, I've heard great things about it. A couple of my mates have seen it and really liked it. I am definitely planning to watch it. I'm just finishing up All of Us Are Dead. That South Korean zombie thing, which is really good, by the way. If you're looking for a good zombie show, that is absolutely the thing to watch. But yeah, I will be definitely watching Reacher as well. jspena says, Drinker, I don't know if you get these types of questions, but have you ever been to Loch Ness, and do you believe Nessie is real? I have been to Loch Ness multiple times. It's a kind of weird place, actually, because the water there is it's got a really high peat content, so it's almost black. Like with most lakes and lochs and stuff, you can see the bottom because it's just fresh water. But Loch Ness is different. It's really dark, and apparently, if you go diving in it, just going like 3 or 4 meters beneath the surface, you completely lose all sense of orientation because you can't see any light from above. So it's a strange kind of place. But no, I've never seen the Loch Ness monster, I'm afraid. Kim Husby says, Hello, Drinker. I love your books. I'm currently reading Ghost Target. Excellent. Thank you. Please don't stop writing novels. Question, have you played God of War? And are you hyped up for the upcoming God of War Ragnarok? Yeah, I've played it and completed it, and I thought it was pretty decent. Yeah, graphically can't fault it. The acting was great. Yeah, the sort of motion capture and everything was really good. I like what they've done with Kratos, now turn him into a sort of father figure. Yeah, I still remember fighting those Valkyries, man. They were a pain in the fucking arse. I think I only ever beat like 3 of them. Total nightmare. But yeah, I'll be interested to see where they take it with Ragnarok. What's the next one? Nick Frierson says, Drinker, I love you, man, but how can you be so wrong about the Dark Knight trilogy? It's a masterpiece. Well, I mean, my only criticisms and the only video I've done was about Dark Knight Rises. I think the Dark Knight itself is a great movie. Really like it. Batman Begins, it was kind of iffy, but it was all right, I guess. I just think it kind of fell apart a little bit with the Dark Knight Rises. But yeah, as an overall trilogy, fucking hell, it's light years ahead of practically everything that we've got today. Played the High Note says, any chance of a stream with Mr. Metaker? Also love the Tomb Raider stream. I hope you get that Jordan guy on for a full stream one day. Yeah, well, I mean, excuse me, I'm burping here. That whiskey's going through me. Not against having anyone on. So, yeah, I remember I was watching the Metaker versus Ethan Ralph stream on Matt Jarbo's channel, which is fucking surreal. Yeah, and that was brutal stuff, man. It was like 10 minutes of them just yelling insults at each other before they finally settled down to a kind of discussion. But yeah, Mr. Metaker's not very well these days, as I understand it. So that kind of sucks. Right, what's the next one? Sorry, I'm just having to refresh the list here. Keep going. Sorry, it's taking a while to get back through these lists. Fucking hell, there was loads. How have so many of these come in? Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, here we go. So... Oh, yeah, there we go. Nidhoger says, how much bribe whiskey does it take to get you to watch Black Sails? It's a pretty good pirate TV series that lasted 4 seasons. Think you'd like it? Fuck, man, I'm always up for a bit of pirating, so yeah, I would watch that. It's just finding the time, that's the only thing. If someone can give me like 48 hours in a day, that would be ideal. Benjamin Stecker said, have you seen Ozark? And if so, any plans on a video? I watched like the first couple of episodes of it. I didn't quite get into it. I don't think I gave it enough time because I think it's one of those shows that kind of, grows on you pretty slowly. I haven't given that enough time to really get into it. Night King 01 says, that Lord of the Rings trailer is just noise. There's just nothing to get from it. I've got it here so I can watch it in a little bit and just give you some of my thoughts as I go through it. Daniel Harvey says, what do you think of the film The Game? Excellent. That's a Michael Douglas film, if I'm not mistaken. He signs up for the game and then it's basically his entire life kind of unravels in front of his eyes. It's got a fucking great twist at the end. Yeah, it's a really good film, actually. I do intend to review that one day. Spectre01 says, do you intend to cover All of Us Are Dead? Thought it was the same level of quality as Squid Game, both in peaks and valleys. Man, the South Koreans are absolutely killing it at the moment. I was just talking about how good it was. Yep, I will definitely be reviewing it. Haze of the Reach says, will you do Multiverse of Madness trailer? I'll talk about that, I think. It's weird. I think when you get to Super Bowl time, just a whole bunch of trailers and a whole bunch of shit all happens at the same time. And suddenly, there's just not enough time to cover everything. So, man, I've got a lot to talk about. What's the next one? Right, Chris Bingley says, on a scale of 1, The Force Awakens, to 10, Rise of Skywalker, how bad is the Highlander remake going to be? It's got Henry Cavill in it, which means, there's going to be something likable at least about it. I don't trust Hollywood at this point to make anything or to remake anything from that era. I just think they'll fuck it up. So, I think it's probably going to be towards the Rise of Skywalker end of the spectrum. The Pronato says, hi, Drinker, you dashing ocean of wit. Have you watched the show Bluestone 42? I haven't, I'm afraid. It was produced by the BBC in 2013 and was a sitcom about a bomb squad in Afghanistan. Very politically incorrect and would not be made by the BBC today. You could say that about so many things. I like the idea of that. I've just, I've never seen it. David Lim says, did you see the Super Bowl, i.e. any of the ads? Not really, no, I never bothered to watch it. Isauro Garcia says, sup Drinker, love your vids, man. Have you seen Euphoria? Also, you should do a review of The Shield, that old FX show. Apparently The Shield's meant to be really good. I haven't seen Euphoria, I'm afraid. Matthew Space says, hey Drinker. I've done that one already. Rob H says, no open bar. Think of the Simps, Drinker. I'm always thinking of the Simps. What can I do? We'll get back to it next week, though. Claudio Rugajan says, random, but I'm reading Deadpool comics right now, and it kind of pains me that the film doesn't take itself as seriously sometimes when it comes to the tragedy the character actually is. Deadpool's got a horrible life. He's basically trapped in a state of constantly dying from cancer, and so he's kind of insane and suffering all the time. It really sucks. Obviously when you've got Ryan Reynolds on board, you're only going to get a certain kind of performance there, and that's pretty much all he can do. I gotta be honest, I loved the first Deadpool. The second one, I was starting to get a little bit tired of Reynolds just cracking a joke every 3 seconds. It's calm the fuck down, man. You can back it off a little bit. Here's a question. Wait, where did it go? Line of Duty. It was a question. Yeah, there's one. Drinker, have you seen Line of Duty? Great show. It definitely was in its early seasons. I think by the end, I was starting to get a bit tired of it. And the revelation about who H actually was That was so fucking disappointing. Yeah, the other issue I think I've got with it is none of the characters have got anything even approaching a personality. They are so fucking flat. They are so bland. Like, they are just proxies for the plot. That's all they are. And yeah, man, I just eventually I wanted a show with a bit more personality to it, and yeah, Line of Duty just wasn't it for me. So yeah, definitely in the early seasons it was really good. Yeah. Rumor has it David Tennant's coming back as the new Doctor. Any comments? I will believe that when I fucking see it. Like, if they do it, fucking hats off to them. Like, well done. I just don't think they're going to get David Tennant back to that role full time. He would come back as probably a guest spot or something, when they do one of those crossovers with previous Doctors. But I cannot see David Tennant coming back to this full time. Thoughts on Moon Knight? It looked all right. The trailer made it look okay. I don't pretend to know a huge amount about the comics, but it's nice to see Oscar Isaac doing stuff that's not Star Wars. Yeah, it looked interesting. So yeah, I'll give it a chance, I guess. Sorry, I'm just cool hair up 40. It's really fucking spiky at the moment. I don't know why. But my hair just tends to like go in whatever fucking direction it wants. Like there's no gel in it or anything. This is just like it. Yeah, Drinker, will Dune 2 be great? I don't know, man. I really hope so because we need like quality sci-fi at this point. I think the first one definitely had potential. Yeah, visually it looks great. There's a lot to like about it. There's definitely flaws to it as well. Like it ended very abruptly, and I think some of it is a bit, slow paced at times. But overall, I hope the second one is good. My only worry is that they make Zendaya into your generic strong female character, and that's all you get in the whole movie. Favorite voice actor? Someone asked me. I mean, Nolan North's great, and Troy Baker. They're both awesome. I have to admit as well, I love David Hayter's performance as Solid Snake. Like that dude really put in the work there. You gotta love him. Next one is White Knight Leo says, on third viewing, the raid isn't nearly as good as I remember. Gunplay is ridiculous, fake blood is green, etc. Any thoughts on Dread? Yeah, I like the raid. I don't know. I've only seen it once when it was it came out of the cinema. I loved it at the time. I don't know how it stands up to repeated viewings, but I thought the fighting was incredible in it. Yeah, I mean, it's the amount of work they had to put into the choreography is insane. Dread, I loved it. Yeah, I gave it a Drinker Recommends. In fact, you can find my review if you look back through my channel. But yeah, Dread was excellent, and I wish they'd gotten a sequel. John Dorsey said, good evening, you massive. Do you watch football? Watching shite Man U at the moment. Cheers and bottoms up. Yeah, I mean, my local team is kind of shitty, so I don't get to watch a huge amount of football. Like I watched the Euros last summer. Like that was fucking great. Like the atmosphere, just sitting in like outdoor venues, watching that on giant screens. It was great. Scotland didn't get too far, but I kind of switched to supporting England a little bit because it's still a British side, and it was really fucking exciting to see them go all the way. But yeah, generally speaking, I don't watch a huge amount of football. Dubstep Shep said, Drinker, I'm getting married on November the 5th and I need a ceremony efficient. I'm willing to bribe you with all the alcohol you can drink. My fiance and I are both fans of yours, and it would be an honor if you would consider it. That would be fucking incredible. I don't think you want me officiating over stuff like that, though. I would probably trip over, like, pass out and soil myself before the ceremony's even finished. So I am absolutely honored. I hope you guys have an awesome wedding on November the 5th. I don't think I'll be able to make it, though. Ethan Henry says, Drinker, just a quick one. Have you seen the reboot of Lost in Space? We'd love to hear your thoughts on the series as a whole. That is if you've seen it. So I watched like the first, I think 4 or 5 episodes of the first season. Didn't love it. I found it a bit slow. And yeah, I don't know, man. I found the characters a little bit annoying. I found the dad just kind of useless. And I guess I was a bit worried that they were going to go down that road of like, he's meant to be in charge, but he's actually kind of shit, and it's his wife who has to make all the decisions. I don't know if it actually goes down that road or not. It was nice to see fucking Parker Posey in something. Yeah, I still remember her from Blade Trinity, where she was fucking great. But yeah, I never really got all the way through it. I mean, it's still going, I think, so they must have done something right. Stephen Bobo says, Drinker, what's your opinion about the upcoming game Elder Ring and then bombing of J.R.R. Martin? So I don't know what that is, but like the Elder Rings, I never really played that, so I don't know, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I can't answer that one. I'm afraid I don't have anything for you. Charles Hurst says, "Good to see you, Drinker. Question: what did you think of Ash versus the Evil Dead?" I really fucking liked it. I thought that was a great show. Yeah, Bruce Campbell is always entertaining. Find it funny. It's gory. It's just great. It's like it felt like a real proper continuation of the movies. You can tell that a lot of love went into that show, and yeah, I just thought it was great fun. Really liked it. What's the next one? Someone asked me if I've done The Thing. Yeah, there we go. Have you done The Thing? Yeah, I have. There's a review of it. I think I gave that a Drinker Recommends as well. It was part of my Halloween horror or something special. But yeah, The Thing's a great movie. Mateo said, what do you want to see from Star Wars shows and from the Kenobi show? I want to see them shelved. Essentially, I don't think anything good's going to come out of them. Yeah. When I think about what they've done with Boba Fett, like the thought of seeing them do that to Obi-Wan Kenobi is just soul destroying. Rob H says, also, as has me starting a collection of figures and statues now, much to the annoyance of my wife. Did you hear about Sony censoring a horror game? I think Sophia Narwitz had mentioned something about this, because there's a horror game that I saw footage from where you basically cut the face off a dead person, which looks fucking awesome. Like that's proper like gory horror. So I don't know why they would censor that. Like you play horror games for fucking horror. But yeah, I know what you mean about as being a fucking bad influence. Like that guy has got me spending more money than I should on collectibles and statues and stuff. But once you get started, you can't stop. Just ask Tatiana. Jesse M. Wells said, have you seen Requiem for a Dream? One of the best. Yeah, I have seen it. Absolutely depressing fucking movie. Yeah, there's obviously a lot going on with it in terms of like how people's lives get destroyed by drugs and addictions and stuff like that. God damn, yeah, it's an interesting film for sure. Not the kind of thing I feel compelled to rewatch an awful lot. Sorry, I'm just looking at the up-to-date chat as well. No, that wasn't it. But I didn't mean to click on this one, but I will anyway. If the Daily Wire would offer you a job to help them produce a movie, would you be down for it? I mean, like I would try and help anyone with producing a film. You know, regardless of what side of the political divide they come from. Yeah, I would just be on the side of like creating good movies. You know, I reviewed recently Run, Hide, Fight. It was like the first one that they released. I know they didn't make it, but it was like distributed by them. And I wasn't massively impressed by it. I think it had a lot of issues, and I was happy enough to call that out because, you know, I think you have to be fair with every movie. You know, you might want to see a smaller studio kind of challenging Hollywood. Great, but they still have to produce good stuff. So that's kind of my take on it. What's the next one here? Phantom Dragon 1475 says, Drinker, your content's great, but YouTube unsubscribed me. Only noticed it the other day. Might want to remind people to check. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're watching this and you've been unsubscribed by YouTube, just check to make sure you're still subscribed. It does happen occasionally. Yeah, I had it happen a couple of times last year where suddenly your subscriber growth like slows to nothing, and you can tell when they're doing a purge because you upload a new video and all of a sudden you lose subscribers. And it's really fucking infuriating when it happens. It's like I upload a new video, suddenly like 200 subscribers just vanish for no reason. And it's just the algorithm doing weird shit. But yeah, it kind of goes with the territory, unfortunately. Filmmaker Morgan said, have you checked out Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho yet? I thought it was great. My favorite from him is still Baby Driver, though. Yeah, Baby Driver is excellent. I only watched that recently, actually, and it was really good. Yeah, I haven't seen Last Night in Soho yet. It's definitely on my list. It kind of passed me by when it was at the cinema, and I have heard mixed things about it, but I'm definitely willing to give it a chance. Hugger Derek says, blue cheese or ranch? I've got to know. I'd go for ranch when it comes to dressings. I'm not a huge fan of blue cheese because it always smells like vomit. So yeah, I'd go for ranch. Arkwinder says, favorite movie of all time? This is a really fucking difficult question to answer. People were asking me as well, what's the beer? This is Birra Moretti. I don't know if you can see it because the light's shining off it. Moretti. Yeah, anyway, it's really good. So the question was, favorite movie of all time. I mean, I've said before, I really like Falling Down, just in terms of not just the activity, but the actual Michael Douglas movie as well. I thought that was a great one, and it really made an impression on me. But yeah, there's so many. Like, would I rather rewatch the most? Probably something like Aliens or Predator, just because I find them so fucking enjoyable. Or Terminator 2, just stuff like that. I know they're not like the most artistically fucking world-changing films of all time. They're not saving lives, but they are really entertaining. Stephen Bobo said, sorry about the last question. I hate autocorrect. Isn't that a question? What are you looking forward to in 2022? Video games. So, Horizon Forbidden West is coming out on Friday. I've got it pre-ordered, so I'll get that, and I will stream myself playing it. So you can see me totally embarrassing myself while I play a video game. I've done it a few times with Resident Evil and a few other things, and it's been pretty good fun. So, yeah, I really liked the first Horizon game, like Zero Dawn. Thought that was really good, and I'm looking forward to playing the sequel. In terms of other games coming out, I'm not sure, man. I still need to play. What's it called? It's the open world zombie game that's literally just come out, and it's a sequel to one that came out like 5 or 6 years ago. It's not Dead Rising. I'm going to need someone. Yeah, Dying Light 2. That's it. There we go. That's another one I want to play. Az was on at me to get it on PC so we can stream it together. And I was like, why don't you just get it for the PlayStation 5 and then we could stream it really easily? But yeah, I would quite like to play that with him because I haven't done any streaming with Az for fucking ages. It would be good. Jeffrey Bjorsko gave me $5. Cheers, mate. Connie77 says, apparently Amazon is probably going to buy the rights to all the Lord of the Rings IPs. So that sucks. If that's the case, yeah, that really does suck. I was going to say, how can they afford it? But then they're Amazon. I love the fact that they had to pay $250 million just to get their hands on, like, the Silmarillion, like the appendices for Lord of the Rings, basically. Big Al said, Drinker, any historical events or battles you'd like to see represented on the big telly, e.g., Battle of Mirbat or the Battle of Trafalgar? Trafalgar would be cool, actually. If you could do that in the style of Master and Commander, that would be incredible. I've already seen Waterloo, like that I've talked about before. To see that done, I don't know if I'd want to see that remade, actually, because I think they did a pretty fucking amazing job with it anyway. We've had the 300, which I guess was some fantasy version of the Battle of Thermopylae. I'd love to see the Battle of the Bismarck during World War II. The battleship Bismarck was a German battleship. There was a movie made about it like way back in the 1950s, like an old black and white. But I think it's an awesome story. You know, it sunk like the basically the biggest battleship in the Royal Navy. like blew it up with one salvo, and the whole thing went up like a fucking nuclear bomb. And so from then on, it was just fucking payback time, and we sent like everything we fucking had after it. And yeah, it was just it was pretty incredible battle during World War II that I'd love to see remade with like modern technology. I think that would look cool as fuck. It was the hood that they blew up. Yeah, apparently one of the shells hit the powder magazine, and yeah, it basically 1,000 tons of TNT detonated simultaneously. So the effect was to vaporize the entire ship. It was like disastrous. Jutland, yeah, that was during World War One. The single largest naval battle in all of human history. A couple of hundred battleships, basically like the sum total of everything that we had versus everything the Germans had, just blasting away at each other for a good couple of hours. It must have been an incredible sight to see. No, that's not. Where's the worst place in Scotland? Methyl. Methyl is a Methyl is a fucking shit tip of a place, and it's really fucking depressing to be. What's this one? Someone please ask the drinker to react to the quarterings vid. What's the quartering made? I don't get it. Have I missed something? Let me look. Let me see what the quartering's been making. I presume he's not been like slagging me off because I thought we were friends. Just give me 1 second. Right, okay. Yeah, okay. The critical drinker just demolished the hottest take Amazon's Lord of the Rings. All right, fine. Apparently, I've just demolished the Lord of the Rings. There we go. That video did do pretty well. I think it's pretty close to 1 million, which is nice. What's the next one here? I should probably go back to the super chats. Stardom says, what would you say is an obscure movie you would recommend? I'd say 2 that I know are Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights. I mean, they're not exactly obscure. Like you know, they've got pretty they're a pretty big budget. One that I would recommend as just a really like so bad it's good movie is called Fatal Deviation. It's a martial arts movie that was made in Ireland, which sounds absolutely bizarre, and it is. The guys who did it, I think they were just a bunch of mates who got together in the pub one day and says, let's make a fucking movie. And it's just really good fun. You can tell they were having an absolute laugh making it. It's my version of The Room, I think. It's a good fun movie. So yeah, look up Fatal Deviation. You can find it on YouTube. I think it's pretty much free. Drinker, recommend me some beer. Well, I recommend you a Birra Moretti. I also recommend Peroni. Nice like Italian beer. And Left Blonde. It's a Belgian lager. Also excellent. What a story, drinker. Great stuff. You gotta love The Room, man. It's great. Here we go. Mr. Folklore said, I really have to ask this, but how the hell did you get the job to voice one of the characters in Dungeon Crawler Carl the novel? They approached me, man. They said, look, we're doing this audiobook. We'd like you to play a character that's kind of like the drinker. Do you want to do it? And I said, yeah, fuck it. Why not? So yeah, I got brought into a sound studio thing to do the recording, and it was all very professional. And the guy who did the recording actually recognized me. He recognized who I was. So that was cool. So yeah, it was simple as that. Hitari7 said, hey drinker, when you're back, how about a review on Sonic, where they listened to feedback from fans and got rewarded? Have a good holiday. Cheers, man. The Sonic movie, I thought it was pretty good fun. I mean, I'm not a massive Sonic the Hedgehog fan, but damn, that's a great example of like, hey, your fans are unhappy, listen to them and adjust your movie accordingly, and then suddenly they got nothing but fan goodwill. What a crazy idea, eh? Yeah, what's my favorite sports movie? Yeah, it's got to be Rocky, man. Absolutely love it. Reviewed it already. Just absolutely iconic film. Yeah, so that would probably be my favorite sports movie of all time. Yeah, Sonic 2. I like that. Like Dr. Robotnik is like proper, like he's bald and he's got the massive mustache and stuff. You can tell Jim Carrey's having fun with it. And yeah, Knuckles is in it. What's the next one? Yeah, what's my thoughts on The Rock? You know what my thoughts are. If you go to my second channel, I've literally just done a review of it, just waxing lyrical about how much I enjoy it. Yeah. You've got Ed Harris, Sean Connery, and Nick Cage in one movie. What is not to fucking like? It's just glorious. Ruari Ahern says, would you ever do a collaboration with Count Dankula? He's a gas man like yourself. Hello from Ireland. Yeah, I've already had Dank on quite a few times. We did a stream together, like a happy hour, where we talked about Alien 3, and he's been on the open bar quite a few times. So yeah, look it up, man. He's been a great guest. I've really enjoyed having him on. Salad Cream Boys Wellbeing says, is Ryan Kinnell aware of the suspicious amount of women you're on your streams lately? What can I say, man? I'm you know what? I'm elevating female voices on YouTube. It's fine. I'm fucking fixing sexism single-handedly right here. But no, seriously, they've been great guests. Like Baggage Claim was brilliant. Really interesting person to talk to. Melanie Mack, man, she's forgotten more about Tomb Raider than I'll ever know. And it was great to chat to them. So yeah, it's nice to have a mix of people, I suppose. Also, did Butcher from The Boys copy your look or vice versa? Carl Urban is way better looking than I am. I need to grow my beard out a little bit, actually, to equal him. The Intern of War says, hey, Drinker, what was the first franchise killed with subversions or reboots? Star Trek or Avatar The Last Airbender? Also, which one is next after Lord of the Rings? I mean, I would argue that it was kind of Ghostbusters. Like, Ghostbusters 2016 started this trend. See, I was not really that well versed in Avatar The Last Airbender. So when the movie came out, I just kind of took it on its own merits, and I was just thinking, yeah, this is just shit generally. I don't know much about the anime or anything. Yeah, so I think probably it would have been Ghostbusters. Star Trek was not long after. Oh, well, I suppose Star Trek started in 2009, didn't it? I can't believe it's been that long. Yeah, you're probably right then. Star Trek would be the earliest one. I think it pulled the wool over everyone's eyes, as J.J. Abrams is very good at doing, because it looked good. You know, it was all very flashy. It was fast paced. Everyone's running about. There's loads of explosions and everything. The visuals looked amazing, but there was no real substance behind it, which is kind of what you can say about most J.J. Abrams movies. What's after Lord of the Rings? I think it could be Back to the Future. I've got this horrible feeling they're going to do something with it. Yeah, that might be my guess. Deadpool gave me $5 Canadian. Thank you. Luke Newt says, hey, Drinker, could you please do a review of The Man Who Would Be King? Sean Connery and Michael Caine at the peak of their powers. Yeah, that's a good movie, actually. Yeah, it's not exactly got a happy ending, that's for fucking sure. And it's interesting to see Sean Connery playing a character like that he's very much not heroic at all. He's kind of not an antagonist, but he's definitely an anti-hero. He's just out for himself 100%. Yeah, and it doesn't end too well for him. But yeah, the acting's superb. And apparently it started like a lifelong friendship for him and Michael Caine. So that was nice. Something good came out of it. Jacob said, hey, Drinker, I love your reviews. Just wanted your thoughts on the new Multiverse of Madness trailer and the revival of Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Yeah, I mean, that makes me sad because they gave him a great send-off in Logan. I want to do a separate video on Multiverse of Madness because there's kind of a lot I want to say about it. But for the time being, yeah, I mean, it looked interesting, I suppose. I'll give them that. They're obviously like playing with different ideas with it, and the visuals look crazy, which is kind of what you'd expect from a Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, I don't like the fact that Scarlet Witch is so heavily featured in it. I just don't want to see her muscle her way in and be like the new Sorcerer Supreme. Otaku Sage says, "Hey Drinker, what's your favorite anime?" So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I'm really well versed in anime or anything like that. I've been watching a lot of Cowboy Bebop, really enjoying that. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the Studio Ghibli movies. Yeah, so things like Castle in the Sky and Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, Princess Mononoke, things like that. I love Metropolis. That movie just the ending to that just gets me every fucking time. So well done. So yeah, stuff like that is probably my picks. But yeah, I am not an anime expert by any stretch. Claudio Rogajan says they destroyed Luke because they had no other idea for him because his arc was complete in the OG trilogy. Yeah, there's only 3 good Star Wars movies, case closed. I'm not going to argue with anything that you've said there. Pretty much everything's fucking bang on accurate. Charlie said, "Hey Drinker, just started your first book and I'm enjoying it so far. Can appreciate how you don't shy away from the dark. Do you find it difficult to write?" Not really, no. And I think this is the thing that I remember about books like that is the dark aspects of it help to just build up your own momentum as a writer. You know, when you do things to your characters, like a character that you like, and you do really unpleasant things to them, it makes it so much more satisfying when they get their redemption or their vindication, or they get their revenge, whatever thing you work into the story. Yeah, I think you have to have the lows in order to appreciate the highs, and I always try to make it earned with my stories, and hopefully that's what I did with that book. But yeah, it's never fun to write about bad things happening to good people, but like you absolutely just use it as part of your storytelling process. But yeah, who knows? One day you might see my books in movie form. That's something we're working on, and apparently they're doing quite well. Yeah, OMG Puppies said Luke was a classic boys' adventure hero. The left hates everything about that. Yeah. A lot of classic sci-fi has that theme, right? Robert Heinlein's Starman Jones. Yeah, they hate the classic male archetype of a hero. You know, the guy who rises above his station and achieves great things, because they know that they can never be that. They can never equal that, and they just want to pull everyone down to their fucking miserable level. So yeah, I can understand why they hate it. Mr. Pinkman says, "Do you think Sam Raimi's direction will make Doctor Strange 2 an interesting film?" Yeah, hopefully he's not been absorbed into the Marvel machine. Sorry, fucking beer, man. The Marvel machine yet. What do you think he can bring to the MCU? Hopefully fun, and a balanced kind of storytelling that we haven't had in the MCU for quite some time, because it's all been about the message. I need to have some like fucking button I can press to just make that happen in the big booming voice, because I just don't have it right now. Yeah, 10, 10, 10. The best burps are the unexpected burps that happen mid-sentence. I need to time it so I can punctuate my points with a burp. You know, I just fucking nail a point and then burp it out just to like end it. Andy Gardner says, "Is it true that Disney are rebooting Firefly and Serenity?" Oh dear. I don't know anything about that. I hope they leave it alone though. Yeah, there we go. The message. That's what Hollywood's all about these days. Frozen in the 80s says, "Hail Drinker, recently you've had on different streamers talking about games and movies really extending the community. Anyone show that you would like to go on that you haven't reached out to yet?" Right, so I think what you're asking me is there people that that I still want to bring on that I haven't had yet? Oh Christ, there's like a whole fucking YouTube community of people. Yeah. Like I say, I've got Voxus Productions coming on in a couple of weeks after the next open bar. So really looking forward to talking to him, because I've never had him on before. I'm going to be having This is going to be a great one, actually. I'm going to be doing a live stream talking about Flash Gordon, and I'm going to bring on Sam Jones, the actor that played him. That was a movie that I just fucking loved as a kid. So to be talking to the actor that did it, that's going to be cool as fuck. So looking forward to that. And there's loads of other people, I guess, that's I'd love to have on. I'd have people back as well. I'd have Dankula on anytime. I'd have Gundam on. I'd have Sargon back for sure. So yeah, man, there's plenty to do, I guess. So Ted. Yeah, that was great. Like, so many people must have watched Ted and been like, "What the fuck is this?" and then gone and watched Flash Gordon as a result. But yeah, that'd be great. What's the next one here? Carlos Campos says, "Hey Drinker, now that The Expanse has ended, will you do a review of it?" Yeah, I need to catch up on it a little bit. I think I'm about a season behind. I just haven't made the time to watch the next season. I think it's season 6 is the final one. I've heard mixed things about it. I think guys like Gary said that it wasn't great. It didn't end particularly well, but yeah, I'll reserve judgment. I really enjoyed the early seasons of The Expanse. Once the alien stuff had created like the ring that allows you to travel, to the other side of the universe or whatever, it got like beyond the kind of grounded sci-fi that they had up until that point. So it lost me a little bit. JMC said, "Do you have any book recommendations related to critical approaches for writing, reviews, or writing in general? Any writing advice?" I've never read a single book about writing or critiquing or anything like that. So unfortunately I can't advise you on that. My editor once gave me a copy of On Writing by Stephen King and advised me to read it, which I don't know if it was some kind of like veiled insult. Like, read this book so you're not so shit at writing in future. I don't know. I never really got around to reading it. I'm fucking terrible for reading books that people give me. I just never make the time for it. And yeah, it makes me seem like such a fucking pleb because, yeah, man, I'm an author and I don't do enough reading. What can I say? But yeah, I mean, any writing advice? I on my second channel, you can actually look up a video that I made called like, how to become a published author or something like that, or and it's done in like 3 not so easy steps. I give my sort of general writing and publishing advice there because like people obviously ask me the same question a lot of times, so I thought I'd just make a video about it. Beetle 201 says, "Will you have any input into movies of your books, or did you have to sign over control to production companies?" So There's a clause in this which says I have a reasonable degree of creative input, which essentially means I can tell them what I want and I can make whatever recommendations I want, but they can ignore me if they want to. So that's what you sign over ultimately, and it's pretty much a standard contract for any movie production. You've got creative input, but you do not have creative control as an author. So yeah, that's kind of where it goes. So it's good in a way because if it turns out to be shit, I can wash my hands of it and say, "Hey, I didn't get any creative control. Sorry, it's not my fault." Salomon of Finland's give me a poo emoji. Thanks. Dragovin08 says, "The whole thing with destroying legacy characters is like the thing of nerfing older characters to make the newer characters stronger than them." Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's so you can abandon the old product to get excited for the new product. Steppenwolf said, "Hobbits rock." They do. I'm not interested in Harfoots, though, or whatever the fuck they've got for Rings of Power. Claudio Rogajan says, "Have you ever watched a YouTuber known as The Flick Pick? He made some really funny videos back in the day and some good movie reviews. Funny personality." No, I've never heard of him, actually. Not sure who he is. Brado Jacko says, "Review Netflix's Maniac. You may really like it." All right. There's, looking for good content on Netflix, it's like looking for a bar of gold floating in a toilet. Like, it can happen. It can definitely happen. Alan Paxton says, "If you do Batman, you have to do Superman by default. Keep up the incredible work and how this buys you a dram of something strong." Sorry, I think what you're saying is, hope this buys you a dram of something strong. Thank you, man. And yeah, if I do a Batman rundown video, I should probably do a Superman too. Stephen Proxies said, "Hey Drinker, Equilibrium and Cubic starring Christian Bale, yay or nay?" I liked Equilibrium. I thought it was a great movie, actually. So, a lot to say about that one. I'm planning to do a review on it. Cubic, I don't know what that is. But yeah, Equilibrium gets a yay from me. Pockets said, "Just got finished with the Ryan Drake series. Hell of an ending. You're an awesome now. I need more." Thanks, man. Yeah, there may just be more Ryan Drake books in the future. Yeah, stay tuned. Wiss said, "I was extremely skeptical about Amazon doing Lord of the Rings. After the teaser has sealed its fate, I would like to hear your thoughts." Yeah, looks really generic. Yeah, it doesn't really give us much of a clue as to the identity of any of this. It just looks like a bunch of just standard fantasy stuff. So yeah, wasn't impressed with it at all. I would like to bring it up. In fact, yeah, should I? All right, I can try and do it. The only thing is, I have to be careful about how much I show because, yeah, I could probably get nailed copyright wise. Let's see. Hold on.
Haven't you ever wondered what else is out there?
I mean, gotta say, visuals look good. You know, I don't know if this is meant to be Numenor before the fall. I'm trying to remember which age that happened, and I'm pretty sure that is the second age. But yeah, looks very nice. Like visually very striking. So what else we got here?
There's wonders in this world beyond our wandering.
I don't know what the fuck these guys are. Saw them in like the behind the scenes pictures on Vanity Fair. Like they seem to be wearing like stag antlers on their backs. What the fuck? What are you? I think you might be a Harfoot. Yeah, like these are the hobbits effectively of this. Because they're like, oh yeah, they're not hobbits, they're like hobbit adjacent, which means they're fucking hobbits, let's be honest here. The king, yeah. This is the kind of shit they pulled with Star Trek Discovery, where it's like, before Captain Kirk, there was Michael Burnham, and she was 10 times more bestester than Captain Kirk ever was, and she actually like made all the good stuff happen. Yes, fuck off. Yeah. This shit looks like the kind of thing you'd put in the climax for a fucking Tampax commercial, honestly. It's like showing a woman doing some like really intense physical activity that she can do now because she's plugged up. I feel like there should be some kind of like generic empowering slogan that goes with this moment, like make your own rules or own the moment or something. Who fucking climbs a mountain with a dagger? What are you going to do? What's the fucking dagger going to do? Get an ice axe. What the fuck? Oh, this is so dumb. This. I feel like I'm actively getting dumber by watching this. Okay. So this dude is so fucking fast, he's able to catch arrows out of the air as they're sailing past him. And fuck off, man. This is like something out of a Hot Shots movie where you could like catch a bullet out of the air and fucking load it into your gun and then fire it back at your enemy. Yep, horses. I'm just pausing this at a random point here so I don't get nailed for copyright. Observe me drinking beer as we do this. We're experiencing this together, chat. Oh, hold on. Can I go back a little bit? Yeah, so this is the ruler of Khazad-dûm. I can't remember what it is. Is it Balin? I think it might be Balin. Anyway, yeah. So this is obviously set before the dragon appears and everything, and before the dwarves get like turfed out of there. So apparently, we're going to get to see Moria as a thriving city. Yeah, this is an elf lord. I just know that the actor's got a really fucked up face. Yep, an elf. There's a dwarf princess here somewhere. There you go. She's singing an opera or something, I guess. Like, she should have a beard if she's a dwarf. Like, dwarves in Lord of the Rings are supposed to have beards. Yeah, so that'll be Galadriel. What the fuck? Did I just see some nudity there? I need to go back for this shit. Ah, fuck. There we go. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, okay, there we go. So that kind of tells us fuck all. Yeah. We don't get much out of this this teaser trailer. Yeah, they didn't have the balls to put a beard on a dwarf. This is the thing. Yeah, you were going to struggle to make that look visually workable, I guess. Yep, it is based on the Silmarillion. A section of the Silmarillion, which isn't even it's not even a novel. It's not a narrative in the normal sense. It's almost like it's like a Wikipedia summary of World War II, for example. It doesn't give you any of the context or any of the people involved. It's just like the high level facts. Yeah, so it kind of looks pretty bland so far. I'll wait to see a longer trailer, I guess. Okay. Wiss said, I was extremely... oh, yeah, you've asked me that one already. Jaden Dester says, hello, drinker. Despite today's Hollywood sludge, what genre or franchise are you optimistic or have high hopes for? Also, favorite non-alcoholic drinks. Yeah, so I've got a lot of hope for Arcane, to be honest. The season 1 was fucking great. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully they continue this trend with season 2. And yeah, Cobra Kai is just like a shining example of how to reference the past, but also tell a new story that's fun and enjoyable. And it's not all about the message. So yeah, those two I've got high hopes for, and I hope they continue to be good. Non-alcoholic drinks. I don't drink non-alcoholic drinks. That's just insane. OMG Puppies said the Adam West Batman was goofy, but the villains in that TV series were quite good. Burgess Meredith as Penguin. Yeah, I mean, Burgess Meredith is always good. Cesar Romero as Joker. Yeah, even though he refused to shave his mustache off, so they had to just like make up over it. Robin had to wear special shorts. Google that. Yeah. Yeah, the Adam West show was goofy. For some reason, and I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, they seemed to show that on like morning TV. I just remember the Adam West show where like people got punched and stuff. And yeah, you get like the kapow thing coming up on screen, and it was just bizarre even then. Right. Next one. Steppenwolf says, cheers, y'all. Go away now. Yeah, cheers. Jeff Peterson, do you think other venues such as video games is an alternate venue where people can go for good stories where Hollywood is lacking? I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 recently and found stories in Mamorpagas are much better. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to escape like kind of woke, garbage and the message, I wouldn't necessarily look to video games. Rockstar is kind of an exception because they're a Scottish company ultimately, so they don't go in for that stuff as much. But yeah, generally video games have been totally fucking infested by all that nonsense. One thing you could do though is play Japanese games because they don't give a shit about any of that. Matthias said, do you think any show in the Game of Thrones universe could be good or even enjoyable? Or do you think the final season's doomed to future shows? I think it really killed fan enthusiasm. So yeah, like they're definitely not going to get the viewing numbers that the first Game of Thrones did. And yeah, I don't have much much confidence in their ability to like tell a good story now, particularly when they don't even have the kind of source material to work from that George R.R. Martin provided with Game of Thrones. It's going to be just like flying their own course, I suppose, with a bit of creative input from him. Because God forbid he would actually spend some time and just finish his fucking books. So yeah, I don't have much hope for it. Salad Cream Boy's Wellbeing says Star Wars is 9/11 times 1,000. 911,000. Also, would you review the classic movie Airplane? Yes, fucking Airplane's great. Yeah, total a movie you would never get today. Unrelated, Ricky Gervais Afterlife, very underrated. Yeah, I talked about that on Twitter, and I got a retweet from Ricky Gervais, which was nice. But yeah, Afterlife was fantastic. A show that can move from making you belly laugh like properly brilliant to to bringing a tear to your eye. That's some good writing right there, and that's what Afterlife does. Big Ben says, would you consider reviewing the early Connery film The Hill? I would if I'd seen it. I don't know much about it, I'm afraid, mate. Benjamin Stecker said, have you seen Ozark? If so, any chance of a video? I think it's one of the best shows out right now. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I've only seen the first couple of episodes. Didn't really give it a chance to get into it. MK says, 2 rotten movies from Rotten Tomatoes I love and would love your take on. The first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and K9. Hail Drinker. So I think you mean K9 the Widowmaker. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, meh. It's the first one. So I take it you mean the one from like the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, I thought that was all right from what I remember. The prosthetics for the turtles were surprisingly good. I think it had Corey Feldman in it as one of them. I think he was Raphael. Yeah, it was all right. AMH Matters says, Drinker, have you seen The Chase with Charlie Sheen and Christy Swanson? Henry Rollins played the lead cop after him. All punk soundtrack. Check it out. I feel like I have. Let me just check. Let me see. The Chase. So, wrongly convicted and sentenced to life in prison, Jack Hammond manages to escape. He heads for Mexico where he steals a car and takes the driver hostage. She happens to be an heiress named Natalie, and the ensuing police chase becomes a full-blown media event. I don't know if I have seen this one, actually. I think I was thinking of Terminal Velocity for some reason, which is great, actually. I really like that movie. Yeah, Christy Swanson was fucking hot back in the day. Unhinged says, why have you not done a happy hour on Hot Rod with Az? All I do love is Hot Rod with Az. Why? I'm going to get round to it, honestly. Hot Rod is a great movie. Kevin O'Neill says, Drinker, it's been a pleasure to watch your channel grow over the years. Would you ever consider a super chat or guest spot with the lads at Red Letter Media? Such a collaboration would be legendary. I would, but I think Red Letter Media, they don't really interact with other YouTubers. So I don't think they would really come on here, which is a shame because I would love to talk to them. Like, I think, it'd be great to, speak to these guys that I was watching long before my channel ever took off. I just don't think that they really do stuff like this. Alan Paxton says, really want to see you review the dire Bruce Willis movies he's made of late. Phoning it in doesn't cut it. Yeah, fucking hell. That guy has just perfected the art of like showing up for a 5-minute cameo. Just collect your paycheck and fuck off. Will we see any more game reviews from you during your busy times? And what are you playing now? Yeah, you will, absolutely. I just completed Metro Last Light, which I think is a fantastic game. I'd already done Metro Exodus, which was equally good. So I'd like to do a review of that. I'm going to be playing Horizon Forbidden West, so I'll stream some of that and then I'll do my review. So yeah, I'll definitely do more gaming content. I'll probably shift that more to my second channel, just because I think it fits better. What do I think about Breaking Bad? Where was this? I want to bring it up. Yeah, here we go. What do you think about Breaking Bad? Yeah, I mean, fantastic show. What can I say, man? Yeah, like Walter White is probably an absolute case study in how to write an excellent character that devolves from a sympathetic, hard pressed, everyman, to a villainous character, but still retains some of those qualities that made him so likable in the first place. Just a great study in how a person can change and get morphed by their environment over time. The acting's great. The direction's fantastic. I think they told a brilliant, really well contained story within those. I think it was 5 seasons. I can't really fault it, to be honest. Metro games are so good. Yeah, I love the fact that the characterization and everything in them is so well done. Like the characters are just really likable. Like it's got a real Russian flavor to it. Like even though they're living like the worst existence imaginable, like it's in a post-apocalyptic series that's set after a nuclear war. So the world is basically uninhabitable, and it's like in Russia. And the only survivors are living out in the metro system underground. So all of the old train stations have become like little self-contained towns. But yeah, like they're still funny and likable and just interesting. And yeah, you can get fucking lap dances in the middle of the game, which I just think is fantastic. And Anna, man, particularly in Metro Exodus, Anna is a fantastic character, like so likable, so well written. What's the next one? Just give me a second here. Martin Swang, he said, never heard you talk about Altered Carbon, a show filled with boobs, gratuitous violence, and some decent writing. Awesome season 1, shit season 2. Yep, you're absolutely right. People have asked me about this on stream, and I've talked about it on streams before. I've never done a video on it yet. But yeah, I really like season 1. Very complex story, actually. As you know, Joel Kinnaman was a great actor for the lead. Didn't like the season 2 so much. I think it really lost the thread. I thought it was weird as well. Like I know the very nature of Altered Carbon is that you can swap out anyone as your main character, but like as viewers, we identify with an actor playing the lead, and so to have someone completely different playing the lead character, it is weird. And I think season 2 just lost so much. I kind of quit halfway through, but yeah, really like season 1. Aaron88 says, hey Drinker, are you going to review Titans? It's one of those dark Snyder like DC shows without the things that make the occasional Snyder movie good. I've heard about Titans. I haven't watched it yet, but I would, if I find the time, I would review it. Ryan Benoit says, I'm an artist and would love to work with you on something. Voodoo Art Studio. I mean, man, like I can try and find the time. Like email me with what you'd like to do, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. What's the next one? Anthony Monaghan says, any more reviews on The Expanse? Fantastic series in my view. So I reviewed like the first, I think, 4 seasons. So check out my review. But I gave it a Drinker Recommends because I thought it was great. I haven't seen the final season yet, so I'll reserve judgment there. Forrest Friedman said, hail Drinker, not sure how into gaming you are, but if you played the franchise, are you excited for the new God of War game coming out this year? I mean, I'm interested to play it because, I don't want to call it a remake of God of War because it's a continuation, but they just called it God of War, which is confusing as fuck. But yeah, like I said earlier, really enjoyed that, played it to completion, and yeah, I'll be interested to see where they take it next. Holy Moly said, hey Drinker, your review evisceration of Boba Fett was beautiful. Thanks. Also, my favorite scene from the ROP teaser video was Galadriel climbing the ice wall to escape the White Walkers. Cheers. That's what it felt like, man. Honestly, it was like something out of Game of Thrones. Muffler Dad Games Clips gave me $10. Thank you very much, man. Alan Cohn says, "Hail Drinker, you drunken font of wisdom. Have you been watching The Legend of Vox Machina, and do you intend to review it?" I haven't seen that, mate, so I haven't been watching it. I'm afraid, so I don't know what that's all about. Matthew Carson says, "Have you seen the old Rankin and Bass adaptations of The Hobbit and Return of the King? Also, have you seen the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings movies?" So I'm kind of vaguely aware of like the animated movies that they did way back when. Never really watched them because I've heard they were kind of shit. Yeah, I mean, I very much grew up on the Peter Jackson ones. Muffler Dad Game Clip says, "Drinker, I grew up reading Lewis L'Amour religiously, now into Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian. Have you ever been into Old West cowboy tales? I'm working on my own, and I'm interested on your take." Yeah, I mean, I've watched plenty of westerns in my time, but I mean, I've not really read novels or graphic novels or anything on the western genre, so I don't know about that. Jimber Jamber says, "Cheers, Drinker. Wondering if you've ever watched Farscape." Yes, I fucking have. In fact, I've reviewed it. What your opinions on it are. Yeah, really like that show. Yeah, very quirky, very interesting. I love Crichton and Erin. Talk about strong female characters. Well, I present to you Erin Sung. She's fantastic. I did a review of like one particular episode that stood out for me. So you can find it on Critical Drinker After Hours. Just thought it was a fantastically well-written episode. What the fuck? Have you seen the trailer for the new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers? No, I haven't. I watched Chip and Dale back when I was a kid in the early 90s, and I loved it. I loved I loved the premise of it. The theme tune was amazing. I had no idea that they were remaking it. Please don't remake Chip and Dale. Yes, what about Lex? Yeah, I love that. I love the original. Fuck, what's her name? The main character. Not yeah. So there's Stanley, who's like the maintenance guy, and Zev. Yeah. So they had like one actress who played her, and then I think after a couple of seasons they switched her out for a different one. But man, I love the original one. Yeah, Lex was properly quirky and just weird, and they weren't afraid to like go like completely over the score. Didn't have a huge budget, but it didn't matter. I was totally like captivated by it. Yeah, white-haired Zev is best. There we go. I think it was Eva Halberman was the one who played her originally. Yeah, here we go. Do you think Jurassic World Dominion is just nostalgia bait by the trailer? Yes, 100%. And I'm pretty much going to say that when I do my review of it. Yep, it's just jangling some keys in front of us. Like, what do you do when you've run out of all ideas? You just bring out the nostalgia as a last-ditch effort. Capville said, "Hello, Drinker. Getting straight to the point. I got two questions. One, first, what do you think of the first live-action Transformers movies? And who's a celeb you..." Where's the next one? No, there's no part two. What do I think of the first live-action Transformers movies? I mean, they were dumb as fuck, but like good action, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, they were just your typical Michael Bay movies from the 2000s, I suppose. Can't say too much about it, but man, Megan Fox was fucking hot. Deadpool said, "Hey Drinker, what are your thoughts and expectations on the new live-action Halo series? Are you excited or are you expecting failure? Did you ever play Halo?" I didn't play a huge amount of Halo because I was more of a PlayStation man than Xbox. I completed Halo 3, I think it was. The trailer made it look okay. I think Master Chief looked really good in it. I've no idea what they're going to do with it, but I'll give it a watch. And yeah, who knows? Maybe something good will come out of it. It's definitely got my interest, at least. Master Clockwork says, "What's killing you faster, alcohol or badly written media?" I honestly think bad movies are worse for my health because they infuriate me so much. I'm just going to rupture a blood vessel somewhere, and that'll be what ultimately finishes me off. What's the next one? Evan Rasmussen says, at 1 million subs, will you do a shot of Toilet Duck? I mean, I'm already at 1 million subs, so I don't know, man. I didn't do Toilet Duck on the day. I was more into the champagne at the time. Silo 101 says, you just insulted Rag's Dog Bite Channel's gameplay. By doing what? I don't know. What's he been playing? Loveless said, hi, Drinker. Always love your content, man. Thanks for inspiring me to tackle my own reviews and such with zero filter. Have a shot on me. Thank you very much. And yeah, best of luck to you with your own channel, mate. Jeffrey890 says, got any plans for an April Fool's review? Wow. Give me until the 1st and I'll let you know. Do another kebab. Don't know if my arteries can take that. God, that was a depressing fucking kebab, honestly. Saddest thing I've eaten in a long time. Yeah, how do I feel about the upcoming Batman movie? I feel all right about it, actually. I've slowly gotten into the idea of Robert Pattinson as Batman, so yeah, I'll see what comes of it. Torsten says, Drinker, you scintillating Scottish scribe. Just watched Tombstone last night. So good. Although I did like Val Kilmer better in The Island of Dr. Moreau. I don't think Val Kilmer liked Val Kilmer in Island of Dr. Moreau. Yeah, that movie was fucking legendary for being so shit. Yeah, he absolutely did not want to be there. But yeah, it was fantastic as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Origin of Asshole Species says, hello, Drinker, your admirer from India. Whatever you predicted about Lord of the Rings series is actually happening. I have a recommendation for an Indian spy thriller series called The Family Man Season 1. Please watch the trailer. All right. Thanks very much. Grey Cat said, thoughts on the new Jurassic movie? Give it a day or two and my review will be out. Yellow Money said, did you watch Cowboy Bebop anime? I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Will you do a review on it? Yeah, so I'm almost finished with it. I've really liked it so far. It's funny, it's quirky, the characters are really likable, the animation's good. Yeah, it's just a fun show. I really like it. And when it delves into the more serious stuff, for Spike and his backstory, man, it really hits home. Did I watch Lost? Yes, I did. And like so many people, I was bitterly disappointed by the ending. But yeah, the first 2 or 3 seasons were properly brilliant. Like just a real masterclass in building up mysteries and tension. Yeah, really enjoyed it. And like everyone else in the early 2000s, I was just captivated by it. Only the Brave makes me cry. Nice. What's the next one? Tony Colonia said, have you seen the new Reacher TV series? No, I was talking about that earlier, so I want to finish All of Us Are Dead and then get on to Reacher, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Claudio Rogajan, you know it's bad when the Uncharted games are more realistic and based in reality than the movie adaptation and more regards to physics as well. Yeah, very much so. I don't know if they tried to top the games with it or something, but man, they went off the fucking map. The RC Scotsman said, what's your chosen style of single malt scotch, a Spey or a Peaty Isla? Currently having a wee Tamnavulin, but I prefer my smokies. Cheers. Honestly, I'd rather go for the Spey side. I think they're smoother and they're easier to drink. I don't like super peaty whiskies. Just find it's kind of slower going and you just don't want to drink as much of it. So yeah, Spey side, I guess, would be my preference. Chris Nicholson said, Drinker, given the amounts of movies which push the message, do you ever catch yourself hearing something that makes you reevaluate viewpoints, or are you more the type to reaffirm the harder Hollywood pushes? So I guess your question is is it actually possible for films to give you a different point of view and actually make you think? Yeah, I think it is. If it's well done, and I've talked with Mahler about this as well. I think he was asking about whether it's possible for a film or a TV show to be woke but still good. My take on it is yeah, it is. It just depends how well this stuff is integrated into the story. Probably Arcane is a good example where you've got strong domineering female characters who really dominate the narrative and are capable of great feats of resilience and violence and all the rest of it. And you could argue that is woke in some ways, but it's so well integrated into the narrative and the story that it works and it's done well. So yeah, I think things like that are probably a good example of it can work, it can be done. It requires good writing, though. Next one. Armando Garcin gave me $5. Thank you. Silo 101. I think Peter and MJ look way too young to be taken seriously in No Way Home. It's like I'm watching two 13-year-olds. The setup at the end is amazing, though. Yeah, I think by the time you get to No Way Home, like, they've both matured a little bit, so I wasn't bothered by that. And they are meant to be young characters, so that's fine. Yeah, and I like the fact that they don't really end up together, and like, really, Peter's living kind of a shitty life, but he sacrificed all of that for the sake of his friends. So yeah, I think No Way Home did a pretty good justice to them. I liked them so much more in this movie than I did in the previous two. Akos Andras Sigitsi said, I found your channel a few months ago. I just want to express how much I appreciate your content. Keep it up, champ. Your next shot's on me. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Grey Cat said, what do you think about the new Jurassic Park movie? Shit! Yeah, wait for my video. It's coming soon. Scroopy Noopers said, have you seen Shutter Island or The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? Yeah, I've seen both. I watched them recently and thought both films were amazing. Watch the original Swedish ones with Noomi Rapace rather than the new ones with Daniel Craig, because honestly, they are so much fucking better. They do so much more justice to Lisbeth than the new ones. Yeah, Shutter Island again was good movie. Connor Sinclair said, I'll need to send you a bottle of Dalmore from up here in the Highlands, mate. Perks of living next door to the distillery. Nice. Cheers, man. Thank you. Dalton Rambo says, Drinker just binged all of Reacher on Amazon. Manliest thing in years. Fucking good. We need more of that. Like an old school 80s action movie. Love to hear your thoughts. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. Absolutely. Next one. Taylor 69 says, hey, Drinker, what's your favorite Fallout and why? Probably Fallout 3, I think. I didn't really play much of the early ones, so I don't know about them. But yeah, like, I think Fallout 3 was the one where you really got that sense of like the scale of the wasteland. And yeah, I think the story that it told was probably the strongest of the bunch. I'm trying to remember which one it was where you like all the others, you get herded into the Fallout shelters, like the vaults. You wake up, and I think it's like your son, who was a baby the last time you saw him, is now like the leader of like one of the factions, and you end up having to kill him. I think that's Fallout 4. Yeah, that was pretty fucking good as well. So yeah, the Fallout games, I love the storytelling and stuff. I love the characters. Yeah, people are saying it's Fallout 4. Yeah, that's Fallout 4. So yeah, 3 and 4 were both really good for me. Jamie Roshan said, better decade for movies, the 90s or the 2000s? I mean, the 2000s gave us the Lord of the Rings movies. 90s was a bit of a weird one for films. I mean, well, actually, yeah, probably 90s, because it gave us stuff like Jurassic Park and stuff. So, yeah, I think you probably got more memorable movies overall from the 90s than the 2000s. It's been kind of a downward slide since then, if I'm honest. Mr. Left Turn says, hey, Drinker, will you be doing a happy hour on Top Gun for whenever the sequel comes out? One of my favorite films of all time. Yeah, I would do a happy hour on Top Gun, actually. I think it's a good, fun movie. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to talk about it before the new one eventually comes out. Paul Colton said, I recommend Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, a buddy flick starring Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer. Not all Shane Black movies are shite like The Predator. Shane Black was absolutely on fire back in the day. Like, his screenplays were top notch. It's just, yeah, he's not aged well, put it that way. Connor Reed says, did you see the Halo TV trailer and do you plan on watching it? Yes and yes. Also, have you played the games? Not all of them, but I completed Halo 3. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Dexter and the OG Jurassic Park, Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3. So yeah, stand by for my review of Dominion, and I'll say more. Steve Baker said you should review The Hunt. It's a great example of how to actually do a strong female lead. I haven't seen that, actually. Yeah, Battle of Jutland, largest naval battle in history. Yeah, wish I could have seen it. Thoughts on There Will Be Blood? Yeah, really good movie. Daniel Day-Lewis just absolutely destroys everything in his path in that film. Like, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant performance. Paul Dano was great as his foil as well. So, yeah, very, very well shot film as well. A lot of like stretches where it's like no dialogue, but just great visuals. Yeah, there we go. Some of the pussy jokes in the OG Predator. Like, genuinely one of the manliest fucking movies of all time. I guarantee you, if you watch that, you'll grow a beard. Even if you're a woman, you'll still do it, and you'll thank me for it. Jeff Musso II says, ever get around to watching Ravenous with Guy Pearce and Robert Carlyle? I sent a super chat a year ago. What the fuck? I can't believe in that case. Yeah, I've not seen that one. So I apologize to you, man. Ara Hauptland says, doesn't justify how bad Cad was in Paper of Boba Fett. But could you watch Clone Wars for the simple reason that it rocks? The best episodes, at least. I mean, it's so much fucking content to get through. I guess that's the only thing. Like, they did quite a few seasons of Clone Wars. And man, it's a lot to watch just to try and get good bits like Cad Bane. Aaron88 says, hey Drinker, have you ever watched My Country, A New Age? It's a historical Netflix show that I definitely recommend. I haven't seen that. No, I don't know much about it. Wreck the Hull gave me $5. Cheers, man. Reed Zalewski says, a bit out there, but have you any opinions on the Armory Wars graphic novel series? I'd recommend it myself, but I'm curious if you have a take on it. I haven't read that, mate. I don't know. Sorry, man. Elijah Soros Rex gave me $10. Thank you. The Valgar says, hey, Drinker, when are you going to drop an opinion on Peacemaker? Cannot wait. It's in the queue for things to do. Honestly, man, there's like loads of things that I've got to get through at the moment. But I'm definitely going to see Peacemaker and review it. Bort License Plates, great name, says, just got in here. Sorry if someone asked, but have you seen that Korean series Hellbound? No, but I've heard really good things about it. And again, it's one of the things I plan on watching after. I'll probably do finish up All of Us Are Dead, get that reviewed, watch Reacher and do that, and then may do something like Hellbound next. Captain Haddock says, have you seen The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling? Apparently that's meant to be really fucking good. Great action comedy. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Keep up the good work. Cheers. Yeah, that's definitely one to watch. Andy McCallum said, do you write a full script for your videos? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you kind of need that if you're going to work your way through something methodically. Some people have the ability to just, turn on the camera and go. They don't need a script. They can just start rolling. And I just can't do that. I need something to work from. What's the next one? Fable C said, excited Russell T Davies is going back to Doctor Who. I mean, I think if you're going to try and bring the show back from the brink, he's probably the best guy to do it. I just don't know if he can overcome all the BBC culture that's in place around this show now. Yeah, I'd like to think that someone like him can revive the show and bring it back to what it was during the David Tennant era. I just don't know if he can climb that mountain, because fucking hell, he's got a task ahead of him. Neil Adair gave me $5. Cheers, mate. And Spectre said, hey, Drinker, have you played any of the Halo games before, and are you thinking about watching and maybe reviewing the Halo show? Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, completed Halo 3, played a bit of Halo 2 from what I remember as well. Didn't finish it, though. But yeah, I'll watch the show and hopefully do a review. I'll do a few more. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with the super chats. Damn, there's so many. Oh, man. I'm sorry, I'm just giving you nothing but silence here. I'm just trying to scroll back through the super chat so I can get to where I was. Still going, still going, still going. Fucking hell. I'm going to have to do a catch-up stream on this. Like, there's no way I'm going to get through all this stuff tonight. Jesus Christ, it's still going. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, Aaron88 said, "Hey, Drinker, are you going to review Titans? It's one of those Dark Snyder DC shows without things that make the occasional Snyder movie good." Oh, yeah, you asked me about that already, yeah. Yeah, Elijah Saurus Rex gave me $5. Cheers, mates. Drinker, Phantom Dragon said, "Drinker, your content is great, but YouTube unsubscribed me. Only noticed it the other day. Might want to remind people to check." Yeah, keep an eye on your subs. Make sure that you've not been unsubscribed by YouTube. It does happen occasionally. Capville says, "Who would you want to punch, if any, nowadays, and why?" I think this is a follow-on from a previous question from way back when. So is this just the general, like, who would I want to punch nowadays? I would punch Karl Marx. There we go. Because I said that on Twitter once, and the tweet got fucking shadow banned because of it. It's like, oh, you can't criticize Marx. That tells you where Twitter's at as a fucking platform. CJ Broskin says, "Yo, Drinker, any chance of a Jurassic Park happy hour with Mauler?" There's a very good chance. We both like that movie. George Hernandez, thoughts on JXE Reactor video? You play PS2 GOW. I don't know what Jay's done there. Yeah, like, I thought the last one Jay did that I saw was his Doctor Who review. So I don't know what's been made since then. Vault Hunter Gaming says, "What's your review on Netflix making a Bioshock movie?" I think they're going to fuck it up. I'm not happy about it. Bill said, "Hey, Drinker, have you ever seen the Orville? If so, what are your thoughts? I'll raise a glass of Aberfeldy to you." That's a fucking good whiskey right there, son. So, yeah, what was the question? Orville. Yes, so haven't watched it like all the way through or anything. Dipped in and out with episodes. Really liked it. It felt like the Star Trek that we never got with Discovery. So, yeah, you can clearly see, like, McFarlane was kind of forced to write it more as a comedy, but you almost feel like he just wanted to make it a serious sci-fi show. So, yeah, I think it's really good. Like I say, it's like the spiritual successor to Star Trek. Ryan Benoit says, "I see the Big Trouble in Little China poster on the wall." Yes! The glory that is. That and the original Predator are my two favorite movies from my childhood. You've got good taste, sir. Both excellent films. Neil Adair said, "Have you seen The Man That Would Be King, starring Sean Connery and Michael Caine? It was epic." Yeah, I talked about that earlier. So, yeah, enjoyed that movie. Great performances. Terge Tiberius Mjork says, "Have you ever watched any Norwegian cinema?" Not really. It's not too well known over here, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'm afraid I'm not too well versed in Norwegian cinema. Rico Guapo gave me 250 Filipino. I'm not sure what they are, but yeah, thanks, man. Kuching says, "Another great Korean zombie series on Netflix is Kingdom." Yes, notice a theme here, set in historical Joseon with plenty of political scheming. Thanks for all that you do, Drinker. Thank you very much, man. And yeah, I've heard about Kingdom before. People have definitely recommended it, so I'm intrigued. Hickey's Girl says, "Hey, Drinker, love your videos. What do you think of the Asking for It trailer? Is so bad. Also, Timothy Chalamet was a great Paul. Love you." Thank you very much. And yeah, I think Chalamet was really good in Dune. I think he's about the right age. I mean, I think Paul's meant to be 17 or 18. Chalamet's like 25, but he looks 18. So yeah, he's got that kind of flipping, that two-sided personality where he can bring about that sort of darker edge to him when he needs to. So yeah, I think he was great. I haven't seen Asking for It as a trailer. I'm not sure what that is. So yeah, I can't answer that one, I'm afraid. Rick O'Neill says, will there be a Ryan Drake movie? Well, they are working on it. I sold the film option rights to it, gosh, about 5 years ago. These are kind of a slow process because if it's not going through the big studios, then they have to do a lot of negotiation to get the funds together to make something like this. Because realistically, you'd need about $15-20 million minimum to do something like this, and that's like scraping the barrel. But they seem to think that they're going to do it this year. They were kind of primed to do it last summer. Obviously, the pandemic was still on. It shut them down. They were going to film in Eastern Europe because it's cheaper there and they get tax breaks and stuff. But they weren't able to do it. But they seem to think that they can film part of it in the Baltic states, assuming they don't get fucking invaded by Russia. So we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, it'd be nice to see it get made. Why So Shaw said, thanks for all the insights and entertainment over the last year or two. Have you seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels? I haven't, I'm afraid, man. Sorry. Nina said, and gave me $50. Thank you. Said, thank you for validating my feelings about all these shows and movies. If you're ever in New York, drinks are on me. Well, I'll hold you to that because I may just be in New York this year. But yeah, thank you very much. And I'm glad you've enjoyed my stuff. White Boy Summer said, hey, bro, have you seen The Travelers on Netflix? It's a pretty good show that rarely pushes any of the message. And the few times it does, it's over pretty quickly or hardly noticeable. Not a bad watch. All right, I'll keep that one in mind. Darren Ashmore said, any chance of a retrospective on Powell and Pressburger somewhere down the line? Yeah, so they did like the life and death of Colonel Blimp. Yeah, like I haven't watched all of their movies for sure, but I know they've got like a pretty illustrious history back in the earlier days of cinema, like the classic era. So yeah, I often think I'd like to do older stuff like that, just to go back a little bit in time. Like I do a lot of stuff from the 80s and the 90s. It'd be nice to go further back. What's the next one? Yeah, ever seen Dog Soldiers? Yeah, I've fucking seen that. I've done a review on it. And it's, yeah, I did a happy hour stream on it. I think it was, I can't remember the guy who we brought on, but yeah, we had a great old chat about that movie. And it was interesting because Neil Marshall, the guy who directed it, actually commented on my review of Dog Soldiers, like my actual scripted review, saying he was pleased that I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, it's a great film. Average Joe said, thank you for the hours of entertainment. This is long overdue. Thank you very much, man. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, and I'm glad you've enjoyed my stuff. Sorry. Yeah. Now, I think... yeah, there's clearly no way I'm going to get through all these super chats tonight. And I am kind of aware that I've been streaming for a couple of hours. I think what I'll do is... a catch-up stream, maybe on Sunday, and get through the rest of these. But yeah, I think because there's no way I'm going to get through this all tonight, I should probably like finish up there for now. I'm going to try and finish actually All of Us Are Dead, try and get through that so I can review it. But yeah, I just want to say for all you guys that have come in for this has been awesome. It's been a long time since I've done just a Q&A stream with just me. I hope I've been somewhat entertaining for you and you've not been too bored. And I've answered, hopefully I've answered as many of your questions as I can. I just want to say thank you for all these awesome super chats that you've sent me. Like your generosity just blows me away every time I do shit like this. It's awesome. And yeah, thank you for the mods that have been in tonight. Like my always efficient mod team. You guys are great. Like you do brilliant work. I appreciate all of you guys. Yeah, and I'll probably try and do a catch-up stream on Sunday to get through the rest of these. But yeah, for now, I guess that's all I've got for today. So go